welcome back to the Saturn return series. Today I'm going to talk about the house placement and how that can connect to your Saturn placement. So if we look at, I'm only doing a video on like what Saturn and Aries means, but it's like the big theme of what your Saturn return will be about. The house can tell you where in life it will come up the most, like where it lives and how, like where it comes out. So everyone's chart has like the 12 houses. Certain houses will be emphasized more. Some houses will be empty. That's okay. And so where your Saturn lives, it can just emphasize where the lesson can come out. So for me personally, it's in my 10th house. So it comes out a lot with my career or how I'm perceived, public image, what I want to be known for, like long term. And I can be very serious. So that's the 10th house. I'll start with the 10th and just keep going around. 10th is right at the top of the chart. And so we can look at the 11th house. So it would be maybe lessons around your life vision, organizations you're involved with, communities and groups and friendships. Your 12th house, you could have a lot of lessons around spirituality, God, endings, deep inner work. It will feel very internal or emotional and how to handle emotions. The first house, it will feel very connected to the relationship you have with yourself or your relationship with your body. And then it can also play out with like balancing your relationship with others. And your second house, it may have something to do with like your values, maybe being tested. It could have something to do with work and income, different things like that. Your third house, it would have a lot to do with your friends, your siblings, local environments, but also communication and how you express yourself and how you use your voice. The fourth house has a lot to do with family, ancestral lineage, your mom, where you come from, security, and feeling safe, and maybe knowing how that's more of like internal work. And this can also just be like super emotional, like how you're learning to process and deal with your emotions you experience and not like ignoring them essentially. The fifth house can have a lot to do with creative expression or children in your life or having children. And the sixth house can have a lot to do with your health, your habits, pets, overall well-being, knowing that the things that you do every day will really impact you. Your seventh house, it'll be that relationships, but then I always do the balance opposite of the relationship with yourself as well and not losing yourself in relationship. The eighth house is like a mysterious house. So it could be, I say it never wants us to fully figure it out. So the eighth house, there can be a lot of like stuff with taxes, inheritance, a death, and how all those things kind of oddly tie in together. But again, also deep emotions, internal processing, lots of stuff there. And I also just want to say like the death part could just be like a death and rebirth transformation process. There's also that. And then the ninth house, learning to see new perspectives, learning to see new ways of doing things, education, evolution, and growing, and philosophy and your life's philosophy, and not putting yourself in a box and knowing that there's like a much broader view or like a lesson around learning to see the bigger picture of things. And then we go back to the 10th house, which can be the career long-term goals. So depending on where you have Saturn, one of those things that I just said will feel like it always comes up for you or just feels like it's a super big thing in your life. So tell me below where your Saturn lives in your chart and if you feel like that theme always comes up for you or if you have questions about like more about the house. So the houses can mean lots of different things. I've said very generic topics because this is a quick video, but yeah, it's more like those are the overarching themes I've mentioned. So just like let me know and see what resonated. If you have questions, let me know. I love questions. And I'll see you in the next part of the series.